And we're live.
Good.
We're live.
Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
We're live, baby.
Have you ever thought about what are you going to do with your time when you retire?
What are you going to do when you retire?
What are you going to do?
Are you going to go on vacation? Are you going to go there's nowhere?
Well, you could vacation and golf, but how long can you just do that?
Right. I saw a really interesting suggestion.
Okay.
No, it was not a post. It was something. I don't know what it was. An article I read or commercial. I don't know. But the lady chose to cruise her old age because they had medical attention, they had a housekeeper, they had everything that she needed. And it was actually cheaper to cruise than it would be for her to go into an old folks home.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Because long-term care is very expensive.
And she will have a party every week, every day if she wanted to. We're going to talk about it right back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Again,
Good
we're back.
morning. Good morning, Sincere. Thank you for joining us
Good
this
morning.
morning.
She says, great day, loves. We're called
Yes.
Loves now. Sincere, we got to come up with a jam for you.
Yes.
Is there a song that speaks to your spirit that you want us to sing when you come in, when you step in the room?
Hey, Shaki.
Like, kaboom, Sincere Newman's come in the room. No, kaboom, Sincere came in the room. You know, something like that. Or whatever song works for you. That just came to my head. Like, kaboom.
I heard you say it 3 times now. Sincere actually was on the treadmill, so I thought about you a couple of times. I wonder if you might join me, give me some more incentive to be on the treadmill some more. I didn't get on it this morning because I had a late night last night, and I didn't. I had to get some more sleep.
You had a late night last night?
I had a late, aggravating,
early morning.
Both. I had a late, aggravating night last night.
Well, Daddy had to do what Daddy had to do. Good morning, Shaki. How you doing?
God.
Good morning, Chef Rev. He says, Grand Rising. I'm never going to retire. Exactly. You know, you're so much like us. I don't think we're ever going to do the traditional retirement. We're not going to do that, you know. See, Sincere loves that. Kaboom, Sincere came in the room. That's what we're going to go with.
All right.
Unless she comes with something else.
And she
goes, yes, ma'am. She's down with you. Coordinating times to be on the treadmill at the same time you are.
Sincere walks the block.
Okay.
Or wherever she happens to be. Sincere. I'm never going to forget that you pulled over a whole live truck and got out in a neighborhood that I didn't think you knew, that don't think you know, and decided to walk with me.
And then in one of those neighborhoods, and then when someone asked her, she was prepared to handle the situation. I honor you because of that same moment. That's one of the moments I honor you for.
Thank you for being there for me when I needed you most.
And wasn't she there the time you and I went down to Atlanta area? What's that little town?
No, I don't think we got to meet her personally.
Or did we meet you personally when we went down to, it wasn't Atlanta, it's right outside of Atlanta, where there's a lot of Black businesses.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name, and I love it when he puts me on the spot to remember.
But she'll know the name of it. She'll know the
remember.
name of it. She'll know the name of it. That's why I'm bringing it up.
So,
but what are you gonna do when you retire?
What you gonna do
when you stop traditionally working? Mr. George Allen, aka Chef Rev, says, "Grant, I'm never going to retire." And I don't think Lisa and I ever will either.
Right.
And I don't expect Social Security to even be there. I don't expect government to take care of me, and I don't expect that we ever going to fully traditionally retire, even if we're 95.
And all of those may be true, but you still may slow down a bit. You may do a little bit more fun, then a little bit more fun mixed into your daily work or whatever you might do. Because I can see myself giving talks and sharing inspiration well into my 70s. Hey, Dr. Deborah.
I've thought about it a lot, and I think Lisa and I, we're just going to be storytellers when we retire.
Yes.
We're going to be storytellers. We're going to be griots. We're going to sell our books and tell stories. No retirement for me too, Sister Shaki. I have no desire to withdraw. I saw a crazy stat, not so crazy, but in this country, when traditional retirement was at age 65, the average man died within 11 years. Okay. When he retired at 65, he's gone within 11 years of that.
That's not an odd number.
Okay. Actually, I might even be off my number. I think it's actually shorter than 11 years because once he stopped doing something useful, okay, especially if their mate is gone.
For it to make sense, it would have to be a significantly short number because 11 years after 65.
Yeah, that's 72. 77.
11 after 65.
I know my number may be off.
It's 76. It's 10 plus 1.
Okay. You probably never made a mathematical error before, but I have.
Good morning, Glenda. Thank you for joining us this morning. I don't know what's going on with our lighting. We're going to have to bring our lighting back upstairs. We still haven't discombobulated from the showcase. I'm still enjoying some of the comments and some of the feedback we've gotten from the guests of the showcase, as well as the authors themselves. Dr. Deborah says, I will not actually retire, but I will slow down to travel more. I want to spend more time near water. I definitely want to spend more time near water. What we said before you came on is there was a story that I read about a lady who decided to take her retirement upon cruise ships, going from port to port on different cruise ships because she would always have housekeeping. She would always have a nutritionist or cook on board. She would always have medical access. She would always have a party if she wanted one, and she would never be alone. And
it was cheaper than staying at home being cared for. How about that?
And more fun.
Now let's get back on this thing. Lisa said you had a late night, an aggravating night.
Goodness.
What the heck are you talking about? Because I don't remember it like that.
No, you don't. You probably couldn't. You had a bunch of drinks last night.
I had one drink.
Yeah, one drink like this.
And who made it?
I made it.
Okay then.
That didn't mean you had to drink it.
I had one drink. Okay?
One serious
that you
drink.
Made. So don't act like I had a bunch of drinks.
I think subliminally I had hoped that drink would occupy him because I was already tired yesterday because we didn't really have a weekend. Oh my God.
No, we didn't. We worked all weekend.
So yesterday there was no game on. There was nothing to occupy Brian's time. And I have grown accustomed that in the evenings, I'm by myself. So I can watch what I want to watch on TV. I don't have to talk anymore. I don't have to listen, which is even more important because sometimes I have to struggle to pay attention and follow along. So I thought that I was just going to be upstairs, chilling out.
You hear this craziness? Y'all hear this craziness? You hear this craziness?
But no, he comes upstairs.
She's digging a hole right now. Go ahead.
And he wants to give me what I've always wanted, which is intimate conversation peppered with stories and other.
So I'm talking to you, telling you stories, talking about life.
Yeah.
And that was intruding on your evening.
No, that's not what I said. You didn't listen. So it was what I had learned to do because you had your games to occupy you, your cigar to occupy you.
But I didn't do that last night.
And he didn't do that last night.
So
I wanted him to go.
Oh, y'all hear this? Oh, I can't believe you actually said that.
Good morning, Bill. Oh, I don't know what I can say.
On
other
one
than
side,
you're
like, Brian, give me you don't need a cigar tonight. Come on upstairs.
No, right. But I was tired yesterday.
And like I wasn't.
And he wanted to talk. Good morning, Couture.
I can't believe
he wanted to talk. He wanted to philosophize.
I want all of y'all to know her saying this today. Wax philosophical.
Yes,
can't believe her.
He wanted to wax philosophical. He wanted to ponder the world. He wanted to discuss the future.
I'm trying to talk to my wife.
To
what the heck?
Elaborate
Couture
on the world
Couture
and
Green.
its being.
Couture Green. What are you going to do when you retire? Shaki says, men need to know men sometimes have the worst timing. Are you freaking kidding me, Shaki? Really? The worst timing? Because I'm talking to my wife? Oh, nah. Get over there. Stay over there.
So I
sometimes
only
you need that
say
space,
because I do realize that my husband
Chef Rev says, at 65, I'm going to pose naked for paint and sip parties and charge $1,000 a set.
Yes, why don't you?
That's right.
I love it.
That's right. I might go back to stripping at 65. So Lisa said, finally, she goes, I want to watch these last 15 minutes of her show.
that wasn't even the most important thing. The most important thing was that I wanted to be asleep within 15 minutes. And so I also wanted to see the end of my episode before I went to sleep. And so every time I got ready to get back into the episode, I paused it again so that I could give him my attention.
You shouldn't have been watching it.
That part.
Oh, I'm talking. I'm in the room with you.
No, I paused it. Every time you were talking, I paused it and I gave you my full attention.
And despite all of that, this morning, here she comes bothering her brother, touching my head.
I was
throwing legs. She was cold, putting
this
feet on.
Morning.
I knew what she really needed and wanted.
He thought
she was
that
saying because she was cold.
Freezing means
she wanted some. She wanted some.
God.
She was pushing and cajoling, and underneath me, she wanted some, and you got some. I went over and handled my business. I tried to keep her covered, right? I made sure the covers was covering your upper portion of your body and all that stuff, right? Because I'm such a gentleman.
Bill, I like that. He said,
yes.
The rock and the hard place. The husband rock and the hard place. I want you and leave me alone. Yeah.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Let me tell you something.
It's ridiculous.
That's typically the wife's rock and the hard place.
It's ridiculous.
Because
it's freaking ridiculous.
Good morning, Michelle. Because typically it's I want you, I need you, I want everything, I want you to do. Oh, but not right now because I'm going to go have a cigar and a drink. And for 2.5 hours.
But you do know for 10 minutes this morning, you were talking about because Brian didn't have his cigar last night, it was intruding on your stuff. Oh, good morning, Sister Renee Peterson. How you doing?
Jackie says, well, Lisa, clearly my husband and yours are the same. Can't touch that man or he thinks that means we're doing it tonight. Yeah. Anything. If really? I lean on him, that means that I want to have sex.
So he's wrong? Really? Shaki, he's wrong when you do that? It's like you're pulling a string. You're flipping on a switch. Come on.
Really?
Really? Look at your face. Look at your fake shock. Fake shock.
Chef Rev, hush up. She wanted to have a mental telepathic conversation, Brian. It's on page 52 in the Retired Players Manual.
I need to, I have a Retired Players Manual. I need to brush up on it again, you know. I haven't read my Retired Players Manual. I had a Players Manual and a Retired Players Manual. Mm-hmm. One of the things the Retired Players Manual does say is you take off the uniform of the player and hang that up. Yeah, he is wrong. Baby, I'm about to go to the store. Do you want anything? No, I don't want anything. I might swing through a drive-thru. You want me to pick you up? No, I don't want you to pick me up anything. Are you sure? No, Brian, I don't want anything. You sure now? Last chance. I don't want anything I just ate. I get home. How come you didn't get me nothing? What's that? Let me have some of yours. That gonna ask you 3 times if you wanted something. I didn't want anything, but I wanted you to get me what I want from where I wanted it.
Kajora, say it again for the cheap seats. She said, we need intimacy sometimes, not sex.
You get lots of intimacy, Lisa. You get lots of intimacy without sex. Close your mouth because you cold busted. Now sit down. Close your mouth because you cold busted. You know this is, we're talking today. The show topic is, what are you going to do when you retire? Sister Couture said, we're going to travel. Now, I believe you. You're going to travel a whole lot. But when you're not traveling, when you're at home taking care of the dogs, what are you going to do? I've heard it said many, many times, how many times can you, even from famous people, how many times can you give a speech? How many days in a row can you play golf? How often can you take another cruise? Eventually you got to go do something. That's when it takes them from the retired NFL player greats, that takes them into the broadcasting booth. Troy Aikman was already worth $100 million before he went back into broadcasting football games because he just simply needed something to do. Okay, so what are you going to do when you retire? Even if you have all the money, what are you going to do?
My grandfather actually reinvented himself over and over again because retiring was not necessarily something that he wanted to do. I remember at 93, he took the phlebotomist exam so that he could go and administer TB tests or TB. I don't know if he did the TB vaccine or what for people who were sick and shut in.
Now, phlebotomists also draw blood.
They do.
I don't want no 93-year-old man drawing my blood.
Exactly, but he didn't until he was 96 when they finally took him out of the field.
I don't want that. Hold still.
He didn't have a tremor.
Let me try again. Stop! I was in a barbershop with one of my buddies, a guy named Derek Bolar. He's a fireman. And Derek was getting his hair cut, and I was waiting to get my hair cut next. There was only one barber there. It was an old black man, and the guy had shaky hands.
No.
Until the clippers touched your head, then it was steady, okay? But when it was touch your head, it was steady. But when it wasn't, it was shaky, okay?
That would be a scary time in the seat.
Well, we were talking. The three of us men were in there talking. The barber was talking. I don't know how he got on the subject. And the topic came up of people breaking into someone else's home. Maybe something had happened recently. Someone broke into his home, and he says, "And they broke into my home too." And his hands really started shaking, and he was holding Derek's hand.
Oh no!
And we was like, "Oh shoot!" He was remembering somebody breaking into his house while he's holding Derek's head.
No, that is too scary.
And the crazy thing, I got my hair cut next by the guy, and what I remember was he didn't really dig this whole idea of walking around the person. Okay, he was over that. He was, instead of him walking around to cut this side, he'll just bend your head all the way over like that to cut from one side. I was like, oh shoot, if I ever get out of this chair.
So you know what? I think I want to take the subject in a different direction. We do have a couple of guys on here. Brian, you're a guy. Couture did mention we need intimacy sometimes, not sex.
Okay.
And I wonder how that's received by the gentleman.
How is that? How do men receive it when women say, I need intimacy and not sex?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be nuts. You sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this, baby? This is going to be crazy.
I don't think you know.
Oh, really?
I don't think you know because
Listen to all of these words. She just said, I don't think you know.
I could be wrong.
Nah. You're going to own that. You're going to own that. Now, she says, I don't think men know. And then Brian, I don't think you know what intimacy is versus sex.
I think that
I asked you sure you want to go there? And he's like, you kept plowing through, so now you got to hear all the words.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Tell me all the words.
Here's the words. Men don't know the difference between intimacy and sex. Really?
No.
Why? But really, why not? Because women can't freaking define what intimacy is in any given moment. The one thing that's intimate today is completely a turnoff tomorrow. So this is a completely moving target. Okay, it's the goalpost shifts. The target moves over and over again. I need intimacy. Okay, does that mean you want me to talk with you, baby? You want me to rub your feet? No, I don't want that. I want you to just be here. Okay. How come you're not saying anything? How come you're not talking? I don't like talking like that. I was like, baby, I'd rather hear you all the way out. That's the other thing. I want to hear you all the way out before I interject. I don't like talking like that.
No.
And then when you do interject, can you let me say what I got to say? So it's a completely moving target. It's impossible for a man to clearly delineate and say, this is what intimacy is to my wife at any given moment, and it be that way for a week. It'll be gone next week.
Brother Mark Sincere says, what are your definitions of intimacy, and what does intimacy look like to you or her?
Exactly. It's a completely moving target, and it's a changing target.
Yes, those things are true. Both of those things are true.
Okay.
Brother Mark says, people should do what makes them happy, not only when they retire, but right now. People often become slaves to the grind and ultimately become consumed by that grind. Define what happiness is for you and pursue that with every bit of your being. You'll never retire from that because it gives you life. And that's actually
Amen.
what we do most of the time.
We do exactly what we want, and it does give us life.
Good morning, Rejoice. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's go up to Shaqui's statement.
Okay. And get rid of that.
Shaqui says, my intimacy is a concept, not explicitly one thing. Big picture, Brian. Big picture. Big picture.
Mm-hmm. Not exclusively one thing. It's a completely moving target. If a woman could define what it was for her, he would just do that. Okay, period. He would just do it. Okay, what do you want? Our one of the all-time greatest rappers, who's now gone from us. His name is DMX. And
cannot believe DMX is gone.
I can't either.
Jeez.
He goes, what these blanks want from a blank. Classic. What they want from. Tell me, and he does it with Drew Hill, the group Drew Hill. Tell me what you want from me. You know, they're singing. He's like, there's Brenda, Keisha, Inez, and Letitia. What they want. He's rapping a whole song. What do you want? What do you want? There's a movie clip from some movie. I can't remember the movie. And he's telling the girl, what do you want? She's going, it's not that simple. What do you want? It's not that simple. Daggone it, what do you want? It's not that simple. Ugh. Can you possibly see it from his perspective?
It's not that simple. It's not. Because men only want one thing. Two.
That's not true.
Two, if it's really, really serious. Three, maybe if you're really, really serious.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Right.
What men want coming from a woman. Proceed. Go ahead. You keep stepping in it this morning. You've been stepping in it all morning.
Maybe because I'm exhausted.
You're not exhausted.
I am exhausted.
You got a full day ahead of you.
Exactly.
You got a busy day.
Exactly. I have to wake up and have my waking frozen and my sleep deprived self and everything else. So maybe I don't know my front from my back.
Oh my gosh. How horrible that must have been for you. Had to wake up to sex. How terrible that must have been. Your husband wanting to talk to you while you were wanting to sleep. The nightmare of this. Oh, how can you soldier on today? God.
Yes.
God.
You could categorize it all that way.
Yes, I could. You know why can't I do it? Because it's just right there.
And all that could still be true.
Today's topic was, I'll go anywhere you want to go with this. Okay. Today's topic was, what are you going to do when you retire? However, that's right. No man with exclamation points. You woke to loving. She went to bed with loving too, Sincere.
Yes.
You went to bed with loving. You woke up with loving. And you're going to come on here.
I am always loved.
And you're going to come on here.
I would have it no other way.
You had a long night because your husband was talking.
To love on me.
And talking. And then you had an early morning because he felt like if you cold, that means you want some. Oh.
Well, Couture said, I also know that a lot of women don't understand what they want or need. And it's unfair that you have your man try to figure out something that you don't clearly understand yourself. I don't know about fair or unfair.
It's
I think that's
completely
the job
unfair,
that he
but that's
took on
what it
when
is.
he decided to work with me. So
I call it discovery.
Right.
And I think of it this way, Couture. I feel like that you never, ever completely figure out anybody. Okay. So what you have to do, since you know you're never going to 100% know this person, I embraced, and I think everyone should embrace, who am I going to want to continually discover? Who do I want to keep on learning about and then learning about and then learning about and then learning about? And I decided I wanted to continue my journey of discovery of Lisa. I'm going to discover my wife, and then I'm going to discover her again. I'm going to learn more about her and learn more about her. I fully expect in my 60s and 70s to still be discovering things about my wife because I've chosen her to keep on discovering. And discovery for me is a better feeling word than don't understand her. Okay.
So just to say, I truly know that my husband every day endeavors to appreciate me and to love me and to all those things. But there are some things, and I love him and I love so much of him and who he is. But there are some things that I had to learn to handle with my husband because they didn't necessarily fit the way that I think I wanted to be with anyone, which is there are some times that I had to learn how to be with myself. Now, some of you may say, oh, well, you're a grown woman, you should know how to be by yourself. Let me tell you, I spent a lot of years being by myself with me and my children. And the only time anyone adult ever wanted to be with me, particularly my spouse, was when someone else wanted to be with me. And I don't mean another person like in a romantic way. I mean anybody, whether it was church or whether it was girlfriends or anything. That was the only time that I got any attention. That's not the case here. My husband gives me lots of attention and lots of love and lots of appreciation, but he also gives me a lot of time by myself
when he wants to be by himself.
Wants to be by himself.
Amazing.
I have learned to accept that because I love him and I know he loves me. And that's why my evenings, I learned these 3 hours, 4 hours or whatever, I'm going to be by myself. And this is what I'm going to fill it with.
Okay, that's fine. William Brown says, for me, intimacy is my ability to truly see someone, in parentheses, my wife, in present moment. That's intimacy to him, in present moment. William Brown says, and be with her. Amen. Dr. Deborah Dunstan says, oh no, I just realized that what I can actually be, that I can be actually be a moving target. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
Couture Green says, absolutely. Yet I still stand on that statement based on life experience. Okay. And Sister Glenda says, discovering makes life spicy. And I agree. Okay. I know there are depths of my wife I haven't even dared to discover yet. There are places she probably has interests that I have no idea about yet, even though I do pay attention. Dice it up, Sister Glenda. Yeah, yes.
He does pay attention.
I pay attention, but I'm not so naive to think, oh, because I paid attention for 6 years, I know everything about my wife. That's not my stilo.
But one of the things I think you could be naive about is that what I thought 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or even last week is the way that I'm going to think the same way forever.
That's a problem.
It is.
That's a problem.
But the same way the world evolves, sometimes our thinking evolves, sometimes our opinions evolve. Sometimes what we believe and what we hold to be true is shifted some way.
See, here we go. We're really pulling back the curtain. Just recently, we used to have this thing. I used to have to buy 2 different types of toilet tissue. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I want the fluffiest, most absorbent toilet tissue I could possibly find. That's what I want.
And I wanted Scott 2-ply toilet paper.
They haven't made 2-ply in 20 years.
I don't believe that. But if that's the case, I know that I don't like Scott 1-ply.
That's all I have.
Whatever it is. Okay. I don't like it anymore.
So, Lisa, the way I perceive that, Lisa, I want Scott tissue, Brian. I don't like that fluffy stuff that you buy. Mm-hmm. So, since I prefer the fluffy stuff, I would buy two different types. I buy her the sandpapery single ply Scott tissue that's going to take a whole handful to do the same job as a little bit of Cottonelle.
No.
Okay, so I did that for a while, and then she said, "Brian, you don't have to keep buying the two types of toilet tissue. I like the ones you're buying." You just told me.
I didn't just told you.
I mean, you told me enough times that I received you don't like this fluffy stuff. Okay.
Until they changed the formula of the Scott. And Scott is now literally sheer, crunchy paper. It's not even made out of the same stuff that it was.
However, this is an example of me getting information from you, receiving this information, and acting accordingly.
Dr. Beverly says, good morning, family. When I retire, I will get my ashes spread over some water. I'm working until I take my wings. However, I will be doing a great deal of traveling.
Amen. Going back to Brother Mark Greer says, all these things you guys say you're going to do when you're traveling, why not do them now? Sister Couture Green says, Lisa, I had to learn the same thing with Tarnez. I never thought he could sit somewhere silent for a few hours. LOL. I'm sure he can, because you know what? He's made enough noise. He's had enough conversations. Sometimes there's some value in just to be still. For me, and I even evaluate how long I want to do it. Use wipes.
Dr. Beverly says use wipe. Well, I use a bidet, but you still
we use a bidet. We squirt the water up our booties every time.
Really?
I don't dick a dump dry. It's a bidet. Okay, we got 2 bidets and 2 of the bathrooms in the house. That's what we do. God. We wash every time.
I can't believe
now I would use a wet wipe traveling, because I don't like just dry doing that stuff anymore.
Thank you.
I would use the wipes, but at home, squirt that water, rinse that thing off.
Oh my God.
And then use absorbent tissue to handle it.
Yes, that's also another reason why the whatever the fluffy butt tissue that you have is better than Scott, because Scott was not very absorbent. It was not. So
I knew that from the beginning, but you said you wanted it, and me being your husband trying to get you what you want.
Because I didn't want.
And there's been lots of things like that. One time she don't want it, now she do. Okay. That's just it.
It is just it. And it's okay.
I don't like when you do that. Why don't you do that thing?
Exactly.
You told me you don't like that thing.
Oh, well.
And that's a problem because I have a freaking memory.
A very good memory. But the memory is not going to, his memory is not going to hold me hostage. So
Mr. George Allen says TMI for this morning. Maybe.
I know that's right.
Too much for him this morning.
We saw your naked painting set. So
that's right.
Hello.
That's right. He's gonna pose naked for paint and sip parties.
Exactly.
And charge $1,000 a set. Sister Shaki says we all evolve.
That's right.
Come on, we all evolve. Nobody's gonna stay the same. That's just what it is. So, with that being said, Sister Shaki, since you understand that we all evolve, none of us are going to stay the same, we should all give each other some more latitude. We should give each other some room to not always say and do the right thing all the time.
That's absolutely
because what was the right thing 10 years ago may not be the right thing today.
10 weeks ago.
10 weeks ago. That might have been the right thing for then or that circumstance, but it's not right now.
That's right. Or is it?
Like, Black Lives Matter. Well, I believe all lives matter.
Oh, and you can get punched in the face.
Yeah, but are all lives being done this way?
I still love that comment that all teeth matter. All teeth matter.
Yeah, but only this one is hurting. Okay.
So this is the one we're going to talk about.
I want to talk about the one that's hurting. Yeah, but all teeth matter. Yeah. How about being at someone's mother's funeral and they're crying about their mother being buried and talk about, look, lots of people have lost their mothers. Right. Okay, all mothers matter, not just yours.
Bruh. I'm telling you.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Got to stay creative, yes. So I want to ask, after you've done the traveling, because you can travel a lot and still need something to do with your time. You can play golf a lot. You can take a lot of cruises. But you're still going to need something to do. I thought Katura said she's going to continue teaching dance until she's 95. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because she can teach dance. Okay? Even if she can't stand up, she'll still be able to instruct. Okay. I believe Lisa and I are going to end up being storytellers forever. We'll probably sell our books more and tell more stories. Couture says, that's good, Brian. Yes, yes. Because that's a part of what makes you sing, part of what makes you communicate, how you communicate with the world. That's a place that you can occupy.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I was sharing about my great grandfather. When they sent him home into retirement, it was exactly 1 year that the light went out of his eyes. He started getting old. I mean, he was already in his mid-90s. You would probably think, oh man, he's already old. But when they took away his purpose, because it was not really about giving the immunizations and inoculations. These people were sick and shut in that he got to visit. And sometimes he might have been the only people that visited them in the big city of New York. Mm. And can you just imagine that he had purpose because he knew Mr. So-and-so or Mr. Such and such had not had any visitors in this period of time. And they couldn't get out.
They can't get out. They're not getting visitors, and they don't have enough to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, having something to do, that's what I'm talking about. What are you going to do when you retire? Having something to do. You know, a lot of problems with pets. When you have a problem with your dog, you have a problem with your cat. You know what the major problem is with that pet? The pet is bored a lot. They're bored. The dog needed some training or some instructions or some interaction. They're just whiling away with nothing to do. So let me go chew on that shoe. Okay. Because they're bored. That's why you have to take the time to train. And when I'm in my car and I'm driving and I see someone walking their dog and their dog is jumping all over the place and wrapping around their body, I'm pissed off at the owner. Okay. Because they didn't take the time to train the dog. I went to dog obedience training with my dog before. And it was on Saturdays for like 6 weeks or something like that. And they called it dog obedience training, but it really should have been called dog owner training. It really was, because they was teaching the owners how to teach their dogs to behave.
That makes sense.
That's what it was. Okay. So I learned how to teach my dog to walk on the leash. I learned how to teach my dog where to potty and how to wait and all that kind of stuff. So learning something, teaching your animal something is a worthy endeavor. If you won't do that, I'm not going to say lazy.
Otherwise occupied.
To not even bother to train your dog or to train your child. Okay, come on, man.
Otherwise occupied.
Okay.
Not lazy.
Okay, otherwise occupied. We'll go with that. So what are you going to do when you retire? I like the story of your grandfather, Lisa, where he kept reinventing himself. He would do this thing for a little while, and because he has free will, he could decide to do something else for a little while.
He did hair. He was a nail tech back before anybody other than Asian people did nails.
Cecilia, thank you, my sister. She goes, I can say it. You're lazy. Thank you, girl. Oh.
Only reason why I withheld it because you said unable to train their dog, and then you said unable to train their children. And I don't think I think that
could be crossing the line, yes.
But yeah. I think more often than not, that it's often that what they're doing is conflicted with what their child needs. And I think sometimes that's even the case with pets, honestly. That's why I found it interesting when I was looking at one of the websites, because Brian sends me 1 million dogs a week.
I do not send her 1 million dogs a week.
But one of the things that it said is don't adopt a dog if you have to crate them, or if you're going to be away from home, or if you're not going to have any time to spend with them, or if they're going to be in the crate 10 hours of the day.
Certain breeds do better in crates than others. Certain dogs do better being left alone than others. That's why you research what dogs can handle being left alone, what dogs cannot.
Yeah.
What dogs require a lot of exercise and what dogs require a little bit of exercise.
Right.
So knowing how Lisa and I live, we both work from home. Our lifestyle is relatively sedentary. Okay. But so we don't need a dog that's going to need a lot of walking.
Or maybe that's exactly what we need. But we don't need any dog. But I'm just saying,
or maybe
what
we need
you are,
I could
where
go
you
ahead
are.
and get us a Jack Russell Terrier that you're
my
going to have to walk 2 or 3
God.
times a day, baby, if that's what you need.
No.
See, Lisa says she don't want a dog, but I know my wife. The second I bring a dog in the house, even if I think it's going to be mine, I could pick out a dog specifically for me. I think it's going to be mine. I imagine that very soon the dog will decide to adopt Lisa and Lisa adopt the dog. And then it won't be mine no more because it'll fall in love with her and she'll fall in love with him.
Hey, welcome back, Barbara Smith.
Guess who's back? Barbara's back.
That's Shocky's song.
That's Shocky's jam. Too funny. Sister Barbara, you done missed some stuff. Lisa started the show talking junk about her husband, and she's come around. Okay.
Sincere says, whether it's your children or it's an animal or pet, it still takes love and patience and discipline all the same, in the same manner. And as the owner or parent or guardian, you have to have that structure, and you have to dictate that structure in a form that speaks everybody's language. Yeah.
Sister Barbara also says, too funny. Sister Glenda Tate says, do whatever I like and explore fun things. So that's the topic. Now, we done went down a lot of tangents, which is fine for this show. But the question, Sister Barbara, is what are you going to do when you retire? What are you going to do? Yes, you're going to travel, you're going to vacation, you're going to do all those things, but what are you going to do with your time when you're not traveling or vacationing? Dr. Deborah says,
when I retire, I plan to teach and preach and teach the word without wearing proper clothes.
Amen.
I will wear jeans or leggings or a t-shirt.
Amen.
Don't tell Bishop. Guess what? You could do that now.
Yes, but
Bishop ain't God. And I love him too.
But I love her saying it. You know, when we first met her, she had a thought about that because she wanted to wear her, what do you call those things? Like the big dress, not muumuu, but it's kind of like that.
Dress?
Dashiki. She wanted to wear those. And she knew there was in some circles where that wasn't considered the right attire for what she wants to do. So when she retires, she wants to wear her leggings and her dashiki or her t-shirt and preach and teach. I love it. And you can do it right now. We do have a very, very powerful, charismatic bishop. And he would say, no, you can't do that. Okay. Sister Renee Peterson says, I've been asking for a dog, and my husband heard what you both are saying about the dog. And now he is saying, I don't need a dog. My man.
Barbara says, I'm not retiring. Did you ever see any person in the Bible that retired? I love doing what I do, so no need to retire. Speaking, coaching, and training. That is
what I do. Amen. And I'm with you there. And praise God to anybody. And I'm also I'm praying for anyone who doesn't. But if you've discovered what you want to do for the rest of your life and you're actively doing it, bless you. Okay. If you don't know what it is that you want to do for the rest of your days, if you have not yet discovered your thing, I pray that you find it. Okay. Because your life is better when you can pour yourself completely into a thing. Okay. You know, teaching people selling and studying sales is my thing. I love to talk about it. I love to read about it. I like to watch YouTube videos about it. I love to watch movies featuring sales and selling. Okay. It's my thing. And I want to do it for the rest of my life. That's my thing. Workshops. I'm going to do workshops. I'm going to do talks. I'm going to continue to write. But Lisa and I, we're going to tell stories.
I'm living my best life. I like it.
That's right. I ain't going back and forth with you. There's a line in that song that I completely disagree with. Okay. When Snoop comes in, he's like, what you wilding for? And then he does this line about, if you breathe, then you achieve. Then, if you breathing, you're achieving. No. I don't agree with that at all.
If breath is the desire.
If that's all you're doing is breathing, okay, no. If you can breathe easily, you should be striving for more than just existing. I hear that as he's saying, look, if you're still alive, you're achieving something. I don't go with that.
Maybe it's you can still achieve something.
He didn't say that. He said, if you breathe, then you'll achieve that. Maybe because it just rhymed.
Probably. Probably because it rhymes. Absolutely. So
it's 9:42.
it's time.
You know what we do at 9:42. Yes, we do. This show is called Let's Talk About It. Her name is Lisa Santiago McNeill. And yes, say all the words. Yes, every time. Okay, Lisa Santiago McNeill. Yes, that includes the Lisa Santiago part. Yes.
And he is Brian K. McNeill. Not to be confused with Brian McNeill, who is an old white guy, but Brian K. McNeill, right? We need the K.
Yes. So together we make up what's called the Empowerment Duo. We've been doing this thing like we do this thing for 6 years now. This show has been going on. This show right here called Let's Talk About It has been going on since October of 2016, Monday through Friday since October 2016. That's right. That's right. Yes, we have. And the show does have a purpose. We talk about personal conversations,
business information,
and spiritual inspiration.
With a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
That's what we talk about. Together as the Empowerment Duo, we have an expressed ministry. Our expressed ministry is
economic independence
through
entrepreneurship.
That's it. That's everything we do has to do with what we just said. Now, some of you guys have been rocking with us for years. Some of you guys are consistent contributors to the show. And what we like to do is we like to thank you guys for that.
I want to thank you.
That's right. And
the
way we thank you is with greeting songs and greeting logos. For example, if this is your first time here, up first today with the greeting song was Shaki. Do we not have a jam for Sincere? Sincere, you deserve a song. Help us find you one.
She liked what you said this morning.
Oh, what did I say this morning?
Shaki, Sincere.
Kaboom! Sincere stepped in the room. Yeah. Let's go with that. Kaboom! Sincere stepped in the room. And
Kaboom!
That's right. And Shaki is, guess who's back again. Shaki's back. Tell a friend. Shaki's back. That's the girl, Shaki's back. Mr. George Allen, also known as Chef Rev, he has a jam too. And it goes, why must I eat like that? Why not hire Chef Rev?
He puts the good food in me.
Nah. That's his jam right there. We love to honor him with it. Dr. Deborah Dunstan has a song.
Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
That's the girl right there, Dr. Deborah. Okay. Sister Glenda Tate has earned a song as well. Glenda's riding on
the freeway and make up in her pink Cadillac.
Mr. William Brown, aka Don't Change My Song, William Brown has a song as well, and it goes, good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Yes, that is our friend Bill. Miss Katura Green has a jam too, and it goes, back to life, back to Katura Green.
However do you want it?
However do you need it?
Do you need it?
Glenda Tate says, I love it. Who else? Anybody else? I know Mr. Mark Greer's in the room. Michelle DeWitt's in the room. DeWitt, Michelle DeWitt. That's the jam for her. And if y'all don't know, Michelle delivered a powerful word this past Sunday at the Author Showcase. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Renee Peterson has a jam too.
Renee Peterson's fire.
Renee Peterson's fire.
She's walking on fire. Renee Peterson's fire.
Sincere is hugging yous.
Hugging you back.
Hugging you back, girl. Who else we got here? Brother Mark Greer has a jam as well.
Hey, Brother Mark.
And it goes, so wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. Speaking of that, we do have the men's meeting tonight. On the first and the third Tuesday of each calendar month, we have the men's meeting and the
women's meeting, women's empowerment meeting tonight. Go to go to womenempowermentnetworks.com and join us tonight at 7 p.m. virtually. Yes.
I wanted to say, Brother Mark Greer and Mr. William Brown, if your schedules permit, consider yourselves formally invited to the men's meeting tonight. You're Mr. George Allen, if your schedule permits, consider yourself formally invited coming to the men's meeting. Go to maleempowermentnetwork.com.
Yes. Dr. Beverly's here.
Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. How you doing, my sister?
Absolutely. I think that Barbara has a song.
What was Barbara's jam?
Oh, Barbara has a song.
Barbara, refresh our memory if you remember the jam.
Barbara was gone. She was out. She wasn't out the country this last couple of weeks, but she was out the city and she hadn't been on the show. But Barbara, you have a song and it's escaping me right now. I just need one word.
It'll come back though.
Just
it always
one
does.
Word.
Probably come back when we get off the air.
Yes. Couture said, not Couture, somebody said, Barbara said, I love the Santiago part. Let me tell you something. Without the Santiago, can you imagine Lisa McNeill? That is like so basic. They won't let me be great.
Look up Lisa McNeill on LinkedIn. You'll find 100 people.
1 million Lisa McNeils. But there's only one Lisa Santiago McNeill.
Also, for you guys who put together programs and bring in speakers and make flyers, it's very important. Barbara says boring on that. It's very important that you put the name the way the speaker wants it, because if someone reads the flyer and maybe don't talk to the speaker, but they read the flyer, they very often will Google that person. And if you don't put it in the K or the Santiago, they're not going to be able to find you easily.
No.
Or they might find you and you won't look as well. So put it the right way.
That's right. Barbara, give us the it was just one word that I just need to remember what your song is.
Barbara, refresh our memory of your jam some kind of way.
I can't remember.
If you refresh we have well over 50 songs in our head.
Yes.
Well over. Okay.
And my old brain is doing gymnastics to categorize or catalog those songs.
Yeah, and we love when you come through the room because your energy is so amazing.
Absolutely. So, help me. Tonight, ladies, we look forward to having you in the room tonight for Women Empowerment Networks. We are looking forward to
Champagne
hearing.
Life. Okay. Champagne Life. Okay. I know we found her a jam with Champagne Life. It's still escaping me. But Barbara Holmes, Champagne Life. We got to get out of here in 1 minute. Neo,
Champagne Life. I'm sorry. I've drawn a complete blank.
Yep, me too. But it'll come. And when it comes, we'll honor you with it. But we do want to honor you as our sister anyway.
And we appreciate you.
We thank
here.
each one of you guys who chose to join us today. I'm going to teach married couples how to date and never retire. Awesome.
Dating is so important, and it really is. I think that I look forward to our date tomorrow. We actually have a date tomorrow.
Yeah, we do have a date tomorrow. We're going to Night of 1,000 Laughs at the Comedy Zone. I got an email yesterday with a discounted rate on it. So, baby, you free tomorrow night? Boom, we're going. Mr. George Allen, it probably still some tickets.
We'll love that. Oh, yeah. I can't wait tonight. I cannot wait for tomorrow.
And that's the point. That you need to keep having something that you're looking forward to doing.
Absolutely.
Whether you're retired or not. But you have to constantly keep giving yourself something to look forward to. A date night, a cruise upcoming, a workshop you're going to give in the future. Live your life that way, looking forward to something upcoming.
I'm looking forward to my day. Today is so full, but it's so full.
It's been a while since you had a day like this.
Yeah, it's the first one since I've been well that I've had this much to do.
Lisa's gonna be busy all day. Now we like those kinds of days, but it's been a while since she's had one like this where, she's got 8 minutes to her next appointment. Okay, boom, 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 boom all day. So pray our strength, Pray Lisa's strength, particularly today.
10, 12, 3, and 7.
Let's
and
go.
I'll see you ladies at Women Empowerment Network tonight at 7 p.m. Go to womenempowermentnetworks.com to register, and I am looking forward to having you in the place.
Have a beautiful rest of your day. God bless.
Peace. Yay.
And don't forget to
have sex.
Because we already did.